IVM.
IVM Likes is an IVM production, and if you like our discussion about pop culture and movies, you should definitely check out our show Anything But Bollywood. Every week, Neha sits down to talk to some of India's best creators and filmmakers about art, cinema, their inspiration, and pretty much anything but Bollywood. So check it out, new episodes out every Monday.
Hello everybody, welcome to IVM Likes, your weekly dose of pop culture recommendations and a discussion. Today we are joined by Abbas and Jaanam. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi.
And as usual, we start off with our usual round of recommendations where we tell you something that we watched or consumed over the past week. In the second round, we'll be joined by Alika. We're bringing IVM Fights back.
Yeah!
Yes, not that anybody cares, but we're still doing it. But before we start off, we have a music album from Jaanam.
Sure. So what I'm recommending today is this. It's not actually an album. It's more of an EP by this band called Kraken.
Oh yeah, I've heard about them.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They came to Bombay for the IIT thing recently.
Yeah, they were on I think 14th or 13th of Feb. They performed with Pliny.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was in the Pune, this thing, na? The festival that happened in
So
Pune.
Pliny was one of the headliners at Supersonic, but
Right.
they also did like a city tour.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
Kraken
that.
came down with them. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, unfortunately I haven't seen this band live yet, but
So what
the
kind
album,
of music do they play?
So they're actually called a rock band, but the band doesn't like to be defined in a particular genre. So like a lot of places you'll find like they're called like a math rock band or a metal band.
Not pretentious at all.
What is a math rock band?
It's like a subgenre of rock.
So if
But
you
it's
play,
mathematical.
if you play odd time signatures, if you actually like put in your rhythm is very complicated, you're classified as a math
So
rock
basically, if you
band.
Tom York your shit, then you're basically...
kind of.
There's a video about like Tom York going off on that song, remember?
Which song?
The song Videotape by Radiohead.
Okay.
So there's a beat that's off, and a lot of musicians consider that as like a very revolutionary thing in the world of current modern day rock.
Oh, I see.
So is there any inspiration like that?
Yeah, I'm sure. But I feel like Radiohead in general has inspired so many bands from our generation. So yeah, I'm sure that one of their influences must be Radiohead. So the thing is, in this particular EP, there's a lot of Japanese influence.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so right from their album cover, the artwork, to they've released a music video for one of their tracks. The music video is shot in one of the Japanese cities. I'm not sure which city, but yeah. I would like to highlight two particular songs from this album. One is called This Story Begins at OK Pizza, which is purely instrumental. And it's very like mild instrumental. It doesn't have heavy. This song is the mildest, softest song on the album. The other one is called What Will Be, Promise Me Kawaii Tea. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing kawaii correctly,
Kawaii.
but
You are.
it's
No, it's not Kwai.
it's spelled as
Kawaii.
Kawai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That smooth voice was Alika's,
Yeah.
who's a Japanese...
Who's overseeing this recording
Yeah.
at the time of speaking. Are their song titles usually that long?
I think this is one of their first albums. So all the songs on this album are long. The titles are long. So there's one song called Bouncy Bouncy, Ooh Such a Good Time.
Nice.
I wonder what that's about.
There's one song called Clowns Aren't Funny After Midnight.
That's
So
true.
they have like very fun titles.
Yeah.
And what's like the average length of a song? Because these prog rock bands go on.
These are all
forever.
5
basically
minutes-ish.
the song names are premises for jokes that are probably not completed in the song either,
Yeah.
but it's like,
Yeah, so they're roughly 5 minutes.
Okay.
Even in fact, I know the story behind the title. This story begins at OK Pizza. So the band was at this restaurant called OK Pizza, and that's when they decided to release this EP. So that's why this is the first song on the title on the EP is called this. And yeah, so if you wanna start your day with like an energetic, upbeat mood, this is the album I would recommend.
So where can one get this?
Apple Music, that's where I found it.
And is there a video available on YouTube?
Yeah, so you'll find a couple of songs on YouTube.
Okay.
Also, someone has really uploaded a video of their performance at Weekender, where they're performing the song called What
Story.
Will Be,
Okay.
Promise Me Kawaiti. Yeah. So yeah.
And how
check
old
it
is
out.
the band? Like, have they been around for long?
No, they're a fairly new band.
Okay.
It's been, I think, a year or two.
Oh, okay.
At least that's when I heard of them. So yeah.
That was Jaanam's recommendation. The album's name is?
Lush. It's called Lush, Lush by Kraken.
Awesome. And next up we have Abbas.
Yes. I am recommending a comic book today. It's been around fairly long and it's a pretty well-known one. It's a Batman comic called Mad Love. It's written by Paul Dini and drawn by Bruce Timm. It tells the origin story of Harley Quinn. If you've seen the movie Suicide Squad, as terrible as I thought the movie was, they actually borrowed some elements of this comic book in that. But the comic book itself is one of the all-time greatest. I think I've reread it multiple times. So when it was released as a one-shot comic book, which means it wasn't a continuing weekly story. It was released as 165-page.
But this was after
story.
the Batman series came out, right? Because
along with that. So Bruce Timm and Paul Dini were the brain behind the animated series, and that's where Harley Quinn's character was created. So it got such a good fan response that Paul Dini thought he'll actually tell the backstory of how Harley Quinn became Harley Quinn. So the basic plot line, to summarize it, is the Joker is planning to, as usual, cause harm to Gotham City and cause harm to Batman and Commissioner Gordon, and he fails in one of these plans, and the narrative is non-linear. So Harley Quinn is already Harley Quinn at the beginning, and Harley Quinn feels really disappointed that the Joker always fails at causing harm to Gotham City. So she takes it upon herself to do something which can bring down Batman. And while this is happening, while she's plotting the plan to do that, she goes into these flashbacks of how she actually met the Joker, who she very fondly calls Mr. J. Mr. spelled as Mistah. Mr. J. So we go into a flashback where Harley Quinn was we actually start from when she was a medical student. And for a comic book, it actually has this insinuation that she actually slept her way to get good marks to become a psychiatrist. So she's not even like a really brilliant psychiatrist. So there are some panel where she goes into a teacher's office and comes back with the teacher having heart shapes around his head. So
how old is this comic
This
book?
came out in 1994.
Okay.
So it's about 24 years old. So then she gets an internship at Arkham Asylum. She's one of the few psychiatric students who wants an internship at Arkham Asylum, which kind of insinuates that there was something cuckoo about her to start with. And of course, there she meets the Joker. And while this is happening, she's plotting the plan to bring down the Joker, to bring down Batman. Then we cut to the present and things happen. And why I like this so much is because, of course, the Joker is known for causing havoc and madness, but this also kind of shows that he also has a bit of a sexist bent to it, because when Harley Quinn, who actually comes up with a better plan than the Joker to bring down Batman, he actually takes offense and says, how dare you one up me when it comes to taking Batman, because it's only me who should come. And throughout the comic, he actually physically manhandles her quite a lot, but because Harley Quinn is a little cuckoo, she goes along with
syndrome,
it.
basically.
So
that was always their whole storyline, right? Like he's kind of like overall abusing her, and she kind of like gets off on it in a way.
Exactly. So why I like
nodding her head.
I'm not nodding, I'm shaking my head.
What am I doing with your head?
So one of the reasons I love this is because Batman is almost like a background character in this. This actually concentrates on the villains. So do check it out. It's called Mad Love. If you actually buy the deluxe edition, which by the way at the time of recording this was on discount at Amazon, there are also notes by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini into how they actually developed the story and edited it and brought it into the world. So it's a very interesting, it's worth purchasing because you can read it all the time. It has all the elements of a very good comic book. So check it out. It's called Mad Love and you can buy it at your nearest bookstore or online.
What is the damage on Amazon?
So the MRP for this is $11.99, but it's on a discount for $7.49.
That's
I
good.
believe, yeah.
It's
Mad Love plus a few other stories.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. The last thing I'm going to recommend before we go into the break is a movie. This one's called Brawl in Cell Block 99, which came out in 2017. It's the second movie by this guy called S. Craig Zahler. The first movie he made was called Bone Tomahawk, which came out in 2015. Had A-listers like Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, and Matthew Fox and stuff. The movie, basically, this one, Brawl in Cell Block 99, is about a former boxer who is like this guy who's full of like moral values. He's a ideal American, like, you know, has a cross in his at the back of his head and everything. But when it comes to, like, you know, comes to expressing anger, he would rather not harm anybody. Because it's shown in a way that he has had something very broken in his past. The guy who's playing the main character is Vince Vaughn, who we all know from Wedding Crashers, and other like Lost World and everything. Like, you know, very very comical roles that he's played in the past. But here he plays Bradley Thomas, and this guy, this is generally like career defining role for this guy, because he goes all out. Like, you know, there's a lot he's communicating only with his eyes. He's married to Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter, and she is pregnant with his baby. And you know, when the movie starts off, this is what you'll see in the trailer as well, that, you know, she breaks something terrible to him in news, and he gets angry, but he can't beat her. So he basically breaks down an entire car with his bare hands, and that scene was actually done by Vince Vaughn, like for real. He actually pumped up, did 3 months of boxing training and everything, got like physically juiced, because this guy's 6'5", right? So he just had to like get into that physical shape. The main plot kicks off when because he has to support his family, goes back into the drug trading world, where he's selling pills and cocaine and stuff. And one drug deal goes wrong, and this guy, again, like even during the drug bust, does the morally right thing by taking down the drug dealers who were trying to kill the cops. And he expects that he'll get a lighter sentence, but he doesn't. He gets a 7 years jail sentence. And while he's there, the mob that he messed with, they kidnap Jennifer Carpenter, who's pregnant with his wife, and they tell him that we know an abortionist who can, while your wife's pregnant, cut off the limbs of the baby so the baby grows deformed. And he's like, the only way you can get out of this is there's a man in this special prison called Red Leaf, which is a maximum security prison, and you have to go to cell block 99 and kill this man. That's the only way you can go there. And from there on, the movie just goes into an entire grindhouse horror mode. It's not horror, it's more like, you know, it's just like this one man against everything, and he's in a jail cell where everything's wrong, but he's using his sheer hands, and his sheer diligence to survive somehow to basically fight the people who are, kind of causing havoc in his life. A very, very rewarding movie at the end. If you can't deal with gore, then probably don't go for it. But I think this is the kind of movie that, you know, like that got lost in the 70s, and now like some directors are now bringing it back. If you watch Bone Tomahawk as well, because the movie that one is set in the Western, the cowboy era, and they have to go up against cave dwelling man eaters, right? So the movie is for like good 70% just like them walking in the desert, and the last 30% is basically just gore. But the way it pays off is what I really like about this guy's direction and writing, that you invest in Bradley Thomas so much, and you kind of are with him because you have a love-hate relationship with him from the very beginning. The movie begins with us like, hating him for being such an idiot for breaking an entire car with his hands, but also considerate enough to not beat his wife, right? So that kind of dual thinking is constantly on. So
you know what? This would make a great TV show.
What?
This plot.
Okay. Not really. It's one man against.
Like how many
episodes?
They could develop more things around this plot and make a whole series out of it. It would
let
be
it be
interesting.
A movie.
No,
as a movie, it sounds perfect.
When someone's wronged, like there's a one take revenge sort of thing. You can't make it like an extended thing.
Also, a good guy gone into drug trade story has already been made into a great TV show. So let's just put it to rest.
Because but this guy's never been good. That there's something shady in his past.
Right.
Also because there's a lot of metaphorical camera work in this. So because there's a guy during the drug bust that happens. There's a Mexican guy who's kind of like very angry, and he's already he's juiced up. He's using drugs. And he calls it out saying, I'm not working with this guy because he's not going to survive. And his boss is like, just do it for one time's sake. Just a lot of money. And when that happens, like he sees, like he looks at him for a moment extra because you know that he sees his past in him, you know, that he went wrong somewhere and now he doesn't want to be the same person repeating that mistake. So I like the way they've dealt with the story. And then once you're done watching the movie, there's a lot of YouTube videos where they talk about these philosophies and metaphorical breakdowns. It's one of the most highly recommended movies of 2017 overall because it went to a lot of film festivals. Vince Vaughn has been lauded for his performance. Jennifer Carpenter's amazing. Everybody in this movie is top notch, and the action, the direction is just very gritty. For someone who likes to watch a lot of Grindhouse, I think it's a perfect movie I found over the weekend.
Nice.
So do check it out. A Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Cool.
And that's our round of recommendations, guys. Once again, Jaanam.
I recommended this EP called Lush by Delhi-based band Kraken.
The comic book Mad Love by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini.
And I recommended the movie Cell Brawl in Cell Block 99. And so that's it for a round of recommendations. We'll be taking a small break now and coming back with IVM Fights.
Long, long ago, not in Bethlehem, but in a place nearby, there was a wonderful birth of a huge show, which I like to call Cyrus Says. A show that encapsulates everything in human history, from the first Homo sapien to the last Homo sapien, who's traversed the entire world and then come back to India. This is a show which tells you everything about everything. If you want to know, avoid Google, come to us. It's called Cyrus Says. Get new episodes every Monday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts on. You get one banana water free with every podcast. Right. I'll just check that.
Alright, welcome back you guys to IVM Likes, and in a special IVM Fight segment this week we are discussing which one would you rather consume, movies or TV show. And talking in favor of movies is myself, Navin, and himself, Abbas.
Yes.
And themselves, Alika and Jaanam, the femme fatales, are talking about why they like TV shows
Which
more.
was a very bad TV show, by the way.
Yeah. Call back.
I'm the fatal part of that team.
Ooh, we shall see.
Jaanam is femme.
I'm ready to jump, guys.
Cool. So what we'll do, how we'll do this is basically from both teams, one person will raise their opinion. From my team, Abbas will go first, and then Alika, you can...
Wait, it's a formalized debate thing? I thought we were just going to yell at each other.
Would you rather have us yell at each other? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Even better.
It's easier.
So I think the first round will be basically...
Let's be civilized in the first round.
Yeah, first round is...
Cool.
Let's act like we're in the parliament for the first round. Then act like we're actually
Wait,
in
let
the
me take off my shoes.
Silence. Shant ho jaye. Okay, Abbas, movies.
So, how much time do I have?
You have as much as you want.
Oh, okay.
The world is your oyster.
See, movies, as far as putting things on screen, it's the ultimate art form. It's a director's medium. It has a language to speak of. And most importantly, with a movie, you get a finite story within a finite frame of time, and you're done. You sit, you watch a movie within 2 hours or 3 hours. You go through an experience, you go through a journey with the characters, you see your eyes are exposed to amazing visuals, and you take it all in. Within a short span of time, you go on this journey, and it's a fulfilling experience. With a TV show, it's just again and again, you tune in again and again to the same kind of thing. And I agree, yes, some characters you want to tune in again. But as we stand today, TV shows just keep stretching on and on and on. And after a point, after watching 3 seasons or 4 seasons, I'm like, when is it gonna end? It's like a never-ending story that's going on. And that ultimately gets boring. With a movie, you have a start point, you have an end point, you have a director's vision to it, you have music that combines with the visuals so well. It's a much more fulfilling experience, and most importantly, movies you can go and watch in a movie theater as it's supposed to be seen, with a community of people. You're having a shared experience. You can cheer with them, you can clap with them, you can cry with them. That's an experience I'm talking about, not a sad sack of a TV show that you're watching in your bed.
Yeah,
so that's
exchanging on hard drives and shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm so looking forward to going to a movie theater and having popcorn thrown at me and irritating people sitting next to me while I watch something. So that is my ideal day.
So I just watched the Black Panther in the theater, and oh man, there were such annoying people in the theater. I wanted to whack them. There was one man behind me who was kicking me constantly.
How is it the fault of the movie?
Exactly.
Go to a better movie theater.
Yeah,
It
spend your
happens
money.
in every movie theater.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It does.
No one's throwing
It
popcorn at
does.
me when I'm going in theaters.
And
You are not
People are
having the
constantly
full
answering
movie
their calls.
TM
Nobody
experience.
even bothers to put their phones on silent.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because we all put
Basic
our phones on
etiquette.
silent when we're watching TV shows on our phones. The phone rings while you're watching the TV
Because
show.
you're alone, it's fine.
Yeah.
When you're in a movie,
See, exactly.
you
You
have
just
other
made
people.
my point. When you're in a movie, you're so engrossed, you'd rather not be disturbed by any other experience. With a TV show, it's just playing in the background while you're scrolling through your timeline.
No, I agree. It's great to be in a movie and not be disturbed, but that is for 2 hours. When you are enjoying content over a longer stretch of time, you need a break. So you need to be able to, go sit comfortably at home on whatever surface suits you best with food that is of your choosing. Surrounded or not surrounded by
You can
people.
do the same thing with a movie on your laptop
Exactly.
as well. You can take a break whenever you want. Like you can.
I mean,
see the scene breakdown.
you're putting for the movie theater issue, and I'm just
No, so I
rebutting that.
think exactly. You were derailing from the whole movie or TV experience.
We should do this topic. Theater or non-theater experience. Let's change the topic.
Next
Even
next
though I'm
IVM fights will be that.
No, but
It's all
let's-
encompassing.
yeah.
It's okay.
But okay, for me, I'm not against movies or anything, but I would. For me, a TV show is much more interesting because one, it's a serialized format. I don't enjoy watching content which is 2+ hours in a stretch. I don't have that sort of concentration power anymore to sit and watch through XYZ amount of hours. I like my half an hour, 40 minutes of serialized content. I can watch it now with Netflix. I can watch it all at once if I feel like it, or I can watch it one episode a day, which I prefer doing because it's just something that I feel that it's more fun to, watch a little bit and then think about it. Consider all the interesting bits that occurred in the show with the characters, with the plot. I like that the plot doesn't move forward quickly. I like that they take time with it. I like that they, you can get a more nuanced look at everything. I like that they put a lot of symbolism in TV shows, which I feel maybe is a little bit
movies
less.
are the house of symbolism.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
where it
sure
comes
they
from.
are.
Even as I was talking about Brawl in Cell Block 99, so we meet him in media res, right? That helps us kind of get acquainted to his lifestyle now, as to somebody showing us what happened in the flashback as well, which I think TV shows do that to basically kill time, and they have to basically adhere to that 22 episodes or 23 episodes or 13 episodes to fill the network air. And a lot of creators come and say that we have a basic idea which could have been a movie, but somehow now because the budgeting is so and so and we have to somehow stretch this, they do stretch it. Like Better Call Saul, for example, it is just I somehow feel like, okay, we did not necessarily need that spin-off, but Bob Odenkirk is genius, so we have that show. But at the same time, how much will we extend that? There's so much that you have already shown about him in the original show. This is just like a money moolah business. It's a very blatant way to shove it in your face that we can make a TV show and you can't do anything about it because Netflix has
You
made
can stop
Yeah.
watching.
Okay,
That
let
is
me-
completely your choice.
That is not a debate.
Let
I'm
me
saying
ask you
likewise.
a question. Okay, this year's
for it.
Best Picture winner, Shape of Water. Would you watch it if it was the same story spread out over 22 episodes of a girl?
See,
falling
that's
in
the
love?
thing. Some stories are meant to be movies, but some need that time. You need that time to develop certain characters.
Sure, and that's why movies have
Shape
sequels.
of Water but Shape of Water would not make a good TV show. So you can't really
Exactly.
compare. Yeah, so if I had to make Stranger Things into a movie, it would not
Right.
make a good movie because it needs that time to develop the whole
I
story.
disagree.
I think we could have done with the 2
Stranger
movie.
Things is like
The most
all
movieable
the
movie.
80s
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
at once.
No, but then
Okay,
you
maybe
And
you're back.
it takes all of its references from
Point
movies.
us. Yes.
Yes.
wait, who's deciding who gives the points?
Us.
Whoever wins exclaims and gets the point.
No.
That
No.
seems very arbitrary and nonsensical.
Okay, but make your point. You were trying to say
Yeah.
something.
I mean, I like TV shows because I can get a nice in-depth look at a character. I like to see how a character develops. It's not just like a 2-hour fest, and you kind of see this XY dimension of the character. But during a TV show, I feel you at least get to see, a little bit of development, like changes, and
and you're just left
points
for,
of view.
you're when watching a TV show, you're watching it. You watch one episode and you're like, okay, I want to watch more. It's called binging for a reason. It leaves you hungry for more.
But it keeps you hungry for shit. It doesn't fulfill You're talking about character arcs. At the beginning of The Godfather, Michael Corleone is this young guy who does not want to do anything with his family. By the end of the movie, he's the mafia boss. You're talking about character arcs. There's a character arc in 2 hours right there.
In Castaway, Tom Hanks went from being fat to thin to fat again.
Wow.
Talk about character.
And he made a fictional volleyball his friend. That's emotions and stuff, man.
Yeah. So, what's the point you made, Jaanam, just now?
No, I was just saying that you need time to, some plots need that time for character development and just the plot progression. It needs, apart from that, the point I want to make is, in the 90s, movies would be better than TV shows, but today, I feel TV shows have way surpassed what Hollywood is doing.
No, I agree with
because
that.
they have a better budget now. I believe in the 90s, their budget was kind of bad.
And
bringing it back from the 80s, we've had good TV shows, okay, different strokes, X-Files,
Twin Peaks.
Yeah. So the point being that now what they're doing is for a 1 hour show, okay, it'll be like 42 syndicated minutes without the ads. In that, 25 minutes in the middle is a lot of junk. They'll have a cool opening, and then they'll bring a cliffhanger in the end, basically to bring you back. That's how they bring you back. It's not for the sake of the entire story. And you have to agree for a fact that there are times in TV shows that we all tune out and we sleep, and then we we forget. Yes, we all
really
do. You?
What's your favorite TV show?
I have watched wait.
Boom. Point us again.
No. So I was actually thinking of Black Mirror, but again, Black Mirror is episodic.
Mirror, exactly. It's a series of short movies, one after the other. It's
I would say Fargo. Fargo is such an
based off of a movie. Boom. Yes.
Exactly. It's based off a movie. There was so much to do with that. They made a TV show out of it.
That's right.
And it's extremely. It's a great show, but it's extremely drawn out. I just feel Saturday, Sunday, I had 2 days. Okay, Saturday I said I have the entire Saturday to myself. What do? I watch Fargo season 2. Okay, I'm like, okay, I'll have the entire day to watch season 2. It kind of drew me out, and I got tired by the end of it. Sunday I said, okay, let's not watch Fargo season 3. Let's watch 3 movies today. And because of that, I ended up watching this movie, and I had to go through 2 shit movies also to get to the third good movie. But I felt that because I had 6 hours.
Do you see the ratio? 2 shit movies to find 1 good movie.
But the one experience that is
beyond, beyond the point of the movie being good or bad. I'm just saying that I knew that I had 6 hours to myself today, so 3 hours, and I can 3 movies, and I can finish watching 6 movies, 6 hours of content, basically.
So
but I do feel a lot of bad movies have come out in the recent past. I think the Spider-Man Homecoming,
and
Jupiter Ascending.
Spider-Man Homecoming was great.
Amazing.
Was pretty
I watched
good.
it again. Yeah, see.
No, there was one Spider-Man movie which was not good. I don't
that
remember
must
what
have
it
been the
was.
Spider-Man 3.
Now you're just
If
losing
you're going
out.
to hate on Spider-Man, get the better references about.
Okay, so I when I want to watch a thing, right, I want to put in some emotional investment into the thing. I'm not really into this 2-hour thing. It's just not.
So what, in 2 hours you won't get emotional?
No, I really don't. I don't care. See, here's the thing. I watch a movie and I forget about it within a day.
Okay.
I literally do not remember anything.
I suggest you watch LOC Kargil. It's 5 hours long.
I will.
There's a lot of emotions
in it.
Thank you.
It's the perfect movie for
I will pin that in my
or watch Les Miserables. It seems like an eternity because it never ends.
You say you watch a movie and you forget. Did you forget Lord of the Rings?
I've forgotten a good deal of it, but then I have watched that movie about 20 times.
So see, you saw it again and again because it had that effect
we're winning
on
too
you,
easily
right?
this one.
Yeah, but I'm not disputing that. Okay, I agree.
They've admitted defeat. I think
I'm not admitting defeat.
Yes, you're still waiting for strong points.
I'm not fighting over if movies are
It's
better
called
than TV
IVM
shows.
Fights.
For a reason, Alika.
Well, you got a pacifist to a fight, man.
Same.
Whoa. You were shaking your head so vociferously throughout the episode, and now you're just like, I don't want to fight.
Yeah, because it's not a fight. See, I enjoy putting a little bit of emotional investment into my characters, into my plots, into, I need a little bit of a long form thing. Now, if it's like 2 hours, I'm less likely to watch it than watch something which is maybe like a season or 2 seasons long, because then I know that, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. I will put some emotional investment into it and watch it. Cool. Otherwise, it's like, I you know what, I can be doing something else.
Yeah.
I'll play a video game or something.
Cool. That's the concluding point.
No, I agree with that, but okay, just as a counterpoint, I'd rather watch a series of films. If I want to watch Star Wars, there are 8 of them out there, so I'd watch 8 of them.
Okay.
So that
I do that also.
Like 19 Marvel movies right now.
Yeah.
You can make like an entire...
I'm not watching 19 Marvel movies.
And yeah, I would like to point out in the first half, Abbas pointed out that movies are like a art form. I would say that today, so are TV shows.
They are, but I think that
no one's saying no to that.
Yeah.
The TV shows are
like what movies are offering you, so are TV shows.
Not
and
exactly.
you're doing it better.
No, they're not doing it better. That's my point. The only reason you think TV shows are better because they're more in your face now. Because Netflix and other platforms are promoting it because they're bringing it to your house.
They're so nice and accessible, guys.
See, that's the thing. With a movie, you have to work hard to reach that stage where you take it all in. And I'm all for that.
Nobody got time to work hard.
Well, I'd love to.
The defense is all laziness.
Yes.
Cool. So at the end of this, I think we clearly won a bus.
Sure. Yes.
But
Sure.
Alika and Jaanam, you'll get.
Hey guys, whoever's listening, please write in and let us know who you thought had the more valid points.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
You can hashtag IVM Fights. Tweet to Alika at KFoxAlex.
Yeah.
And Abbas at Abbas Moment, Jaanam at Jaanam Devan, and I am at House of Narona. This is IVM Likes, and you can also find IVM Podcasts online. Talk to us, review us on Facebook and Google Play Store and iTunes. Please do, and we'll be forever grateful to you guys. Until then, this is IVM Likes. Bye.
Bye.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Millions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work, and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.